I've got 7:02. Even though Sean's not here, we do have a quorum. And so we should probably get started. Here.
Oh, Sean is in the attendee list.
Yep.
Okay.
Just showed up because I checked it like 30 seconds ago. So I promoted him to a panelist. And
He has to turn on his video.
All right, hang on. There it is.
Ta-da!
or
And we,
okay. Everybody's here but Mary. And now she's,
she's also in the attendees.
yep. All right, Mary, we still can't see you.
I don't know what to tell you.
Whoa, something's happening.
Something's happening.
We
You
can
can get it down at the bottom left and hit start video.
There we go.
Go.
Oh my God.
I knew you could do
Okay.
it.
I'm exhausted.
So all our panelists are here and we have 9 attendees joining us. Welcome to the attendees. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 7:03. And the first item of business is the pledge to the flag. Please join me. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the
Flag
The United States
of America
and to the republic which stands one
Nation.
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all. Whew. Well, that was a mess.
I should have muted everybody before we did that, but I forgot to. The first item of business tonight is the public hearing on the draft budget, the preliminary budget. I'd like to make a few comments on that before I open it to the public. First, I'd like to outline the budget process so far. First of all, the treasurer updated the salary schedule.
What is that?
Okay, I just muted everybody. I'll unmute you when because it was flipping back and forth. So the treasurer updated the salary schedule and did a thorough analysis of the fixed costs, including utilities, insurance, employee benefits, and so forth. And she provided those starting numbers for the budget. The treasurer and I then met with all department heads to review their budget requests and to discuss their priorities for the coming year. And this resulted in a 40-plus page preliminary budget that was shared with the trustees on March 9th. Subsequent to that meeting, the board held 3 budget workshops with me, the treasurer, and the department heads to review the details of the preliminary budget. And the result of all of this is the proposed budget that's being presented tonight for public comment. After tonight, the board will meet a week from tonight, next Monday, the 13th, for any final revisions. And I'm going to ask that we approve the completed budget at that time. The original budget calendar that we put out said that we had until the end of April. And so that led us to believe that we would be able to discuss the budget again at our meeting on the 27th. However, today I received a note from the Saratoga County Real Property Tax Office, and that note says, the pertinent part of it says, due to the current situation, Saratoga County Public Health is occupying our office space. In order to process the rolls in a timely manner, I am coordinating with Public Health for access to our office on April 14th and April 16th to process rolls for all of the villages in the county. With limited access to our office and unforeseeable circumstances, I am respectfully asking that the above information be forwarded to our office no later than April 14th. So if we comply with that request, that means we need to finalize the budget a week from tonight on the 13th. So I would make that request to the board. The county has to prepare the tax rolls in a format that goes into Edmunds, and then Edmunds has to generate the tax bills, and we have to print them and get them in the mail. So if the real property tax office couldn't generate the tax rolls for us, it would put us behind seriously. I would suggest that the format for our discussion of the budget next time, a week from tonight, is if anybody has changes to propose, they can propose an amendment to that effect. If the amendment is seconded, we will discuss and vote on it. My one caveat is that we're long past the day to file for exceeding the tax cap. So if we choose next week to increase the budget, I think we're limited to our increases by the state tax cap because we have not filed to exceed it. Okay, with that introduction to the budget process, I'd like to summarize the impact on property taxes. Tonight's proposed budget increases spending by $143,000 over last year, and then increases revenues by $111,000 over last year. That results in a $23,000 increase in the tax levy. The tax levy, of course, being the total amount of taxes to be raised. And this represents an average tax increase of 1.3%. Now, I want everybody to understand that this does not mean that everybody's taxes will go up by 1.3% because we're using the town's assessments this year for the first time. And that means if your town assessment is higher than your village assessment was, your taxes will probably go up more than 1.3%. Likewise, if your town assessment is lower than your village assessment was, your taxes will probably go up less than 1.3%. We analyzed the impact of this before we decided to go with the town assessments. We expect relatively few people to have large swings either way, but there will be a few who have a large increase and an equal number who have a large decrease. And this will be a one-year adjustment to using the new assessments this year only. I'd like to highlight some significant savings in this year's budget. We refinanced our existing debt to lower our debt service costs. We eliminated the assessors and the animal control officers. We reduced the amount of taxes the village will owe on the properties that it owns in other municipalities. And we outsourced payroll. Significant new expenditures in this year's budget include a 2% salary increase for employees per our union contracts, and also an increase in the New York State minimum wage that goes into effect during the fiscal year. We also budgeted $100,000 in new money for paving to try to get our streets up to par. We budgeted roughly $350,000 in equipment replacement for overdue replacement of obsolete equipment that has needed to be replaced for some while. We have new debt service coming online for the 2 new fire trucks that the prior board ordered at the end of the year 2 budgets ago. And of course, just like everyone else, our insurance and employee benefit costs continue to rise regularly. So we've done a lot of cost cutting, and we've also done a lot of focusing our resources into areas that have been identified as needing extra resources. So in my opinion, the resulting budget is fiscally responsible and focuses our resources on village priorities. I want to recognize the impressive effort put forth by Treasurer Lasky and Deputy Treasurer Smith in generating a much more complete and detailed budget than the village has ever had before. With those comments, I'll ask Treasurer Lasky if she has anything she wants to add. Got anything you want to add, Treasurer Lasky?
No, can you hear me?
Yes, I just
Oh, yeah.
unmuted you.
No, I don't think there's anything that I need to add. You know, if anybody has, you know, any late changes, we'll just look at those next week.
Yep.
You know,
All right, I'm going to mute you again then.
Okay.
And I'm going to open the floor for the public hearing. If any member of the audience wants to address the board, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you. And then please tell us your name and address for the minutes, because the clerk can't see your names and addresses. So first hand I see is David Atkinson. David, you're unmuted.
Yeah, hello, my name is David Atkinson. I live on 5968 Nigger Street. So I've got a question about the budget.
Okay.
So my question is, when are we gonna kick the niggers out?
Larry, you can cut him off. There's been some Zoom interference. You can go ahead and mute him and go to the next comment.
Nigger. Fucking boomers.
Okay, the next comment is John D.
Hi, sir. Yes. So my question is, when are we going to kick all the niggers out? Is David Atkins? Fuck you, boomers. Fucking kill yourself, niggers. You're a menace to society. Just going to tell you that. You should kill yourself, all of you. Fucking niggers.
Larry?
Yes.
This has been happening. I've been reading about it. The FBI is investigating people who are hacking into Zoom accounts. And so I'm not sure that you're going to actually get the public at this point. I'm not exactly sure what to do. I read an article about this a couple of days ago, and they are saying that one of the problems with Zoom is the ability to come in, and that's why schools aren't using it. And so I don't know if we'll keep getting a repeat of this as you click on people. I don't know if there are names that you recognize that you can try to click on to see if that's happening or not happening, but you may have to initiate a new meeting.
You can also ask them to reply on the chat. So they type their answer in, their question in, instead of coming on the screen.
Yeah.
That might work.
A good idea.
I will call on the people whose names I recognize. I have removed from the meeting the people who were disruptive. Mr. Rossi, you're now unmuted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, it's actually you. Frank, I'm so happy to hear from you.
You know what? I know it's a unique moment. Let me just, as a precursor, reiterate what Stephanie's saying. There are problems nationally. I know town of Ballston has been using a password and basically somebody to interface with everybody before they get let in. There may be a way to utilize that methodology. So you might want to talk to Eric or whoever's helping run that in the town of Ballston right now to see if we can't add a layer of protection for your guys' meetings at some point. Hopefully we can get past all that tonight at least. Mayor, I guess it's more of a question because I can't see the budget for, I was doing a search earlier, I couldn't find it online. It's been a while since I had my hand on the physical budget. I'm noticing, give or take, about 10 to 15% hit is being suggested to Saratoga County sales tax receipts right now. as a projection. Obviously, we don't know when this is going to end and what the net effect is going to be. To what degree are we protected in that way? And has Spencer or anybody given kind of an indication to Mary or others of what the true number might be, let's say if we got back to work next month? Thank you.
We have discussed those issues, Frank. There are a lot of unknowns in the future for obvious reasons. And we decided that since we don't know the magnitude of those things now, and we can't really predict how long this thing's going to last or what impact there's going to be on our budget, we will monitor and we will make mid-year corrections as we discover that they're necessary. But we didn't think it was possible to anticipate right now what those corrections were going to have to be. But you raise a good point, and thank you for it.
Can I just really quick as a follow-up, what is the anticipated revenue to the Village of Ballston Spa for this budget year to the degree you have in front of you?
Total
And Frank,
revenue?
I'm sorry that wasn't posted. I thought it was posted on the website. It should have been.
I apologize I didn't get to see it. I've been searching during the meeting. I can't find it though. It's my fault probably more than anybody's.
Frank, there's only a few items that are impacted. You know, our tax collection, but it's primarily the sales tax revenue that's going to be affected. And I'm not sure, maybe Mary can tell us if there are any other categories that are going to be affected by the economy.
Yeah, we're expecting probable impacts on our contributions to the state retirement systems because the stock market is down. When the stock market goes down, the state retirement systems have to collect more from their contributors because they have the same costs that they have to pay out. Frank, to answer your question, the total revenues projected in this year's budget are $3,993,405. Thank you for your comment. I'll go ahead and mute you again.
Can I ask a question quickly? Terry, is the budget posted on the website? I thought it was, or was supposed to be. You're muted, Terry.
Sherry posted it.
Can you put a link up on the Facebook page now? I can't find it on the website.
Right now?
Yeah, so people can see it while we're talking. It's better than nothing.
I'll try. I don't know how I'm going to take minutes and try to figure out how to do that at the same time, to be honest.
Either that or just directs people.
It should be on the, Sherry said she put it on the website. It should be there.
Do you know what page?
I don't, maybe under Village News.
Yeah, I think it's under Village News.
Julia just said on the bottom there, under Village News.
So folks can go there.
It's under Village News.
Okay. Ah, there it is. All right.
Can everybody see the chat? I don't know if the attendees can see the chat. Frank, can you see the chat?
The chat is going crazy. Somebody's.
Yes, I can see it though, and you're
There's
right.
99.
If people go to the Village page, it's right in the front, Village News. So if they just page down there, Village of Ballston Spa .org.
Got it.
That
Larry,
chat look.
Larry, you may want to kick out Sarah Higgins
Yeah.
because that's one of the problem children looks
Yeah.
like in the chat.
Oh, this is frustrating.
Okay, I see no more hands up. Does anybody else want to speak in the public hearing on the budget? Okay, hearing no other comments, I will close the public hearing on the budget and open the annual meeting. Annual meeting. Consists of several resolutions. The first one is board meetings. I'm going to ask for a motion that the Board of Trustees be polled on all resolutions on the basis of a voice vote, except for when specifically requested and required, at which time the vote will be verbally cast as either yes or no. That the regular meetings of the Board of Trustees be held on the second and fourth Mondays of each month at 7 p.m. The meetings may be changed to the following day. It says at the discretion of the mayor, but we do that when the Monday is a holiday. That special meetings can be called by the mayor and 2 trustees acting together, and that upon being notified of the special meetings, the village clerk shall notify the remaining members of the board, and the clerk shall also provide notice of the meeting to the news media and the public as prescribed by the open meeting law. Also, the clerk is to notify members by phone and shall verify if members cannot attend with the other members. Could I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Raymond, second by Trustee Cormos, was it?
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. That motion carries. Moving on to general resolutions. The first one is on training. Whereas there is to be during the coming official year, the New York Annual Conference of Mayors Annual Meeting and Training School, the New York Conference of Mayors Fall Training School for finance officers and municipal clerks, as well as schools for Department of Public Works working supervisors. And whereas it is determined by the Board of Trustees that attendance by certain municipal officials and employees at one or more of these meetings, conferences, or schools benefits the municipality, now therefore be it resolved, the Village Board of Trustees, the village clerk, the village treasurer, the village deputy treasurer, accounting assistant, and public works working supervisor are hereby authorized to attend the above listed conferences and schools and others as determined by the village board. This resolution shall take effect immediately. Could I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Trustee Fitzpatrick. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Shaw. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next motion is on mileage reimbursement. Whereas the Board of Trustees has determined to pay a fixed rate for mileage as reimbursement to officers and employees of the village who shall use their personal vehicles while performing their official duties on behalf of the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees shall approve a reimbursement to such officers and employees at the current IRS reimbursement rate, and that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Could I have a motion?
I
So
make that
moved.
motion. Oh,
Motion by Trustee Cormos, and the second was by Trustee Raymond. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. I'd next like to announce my appointments for trustee liaisons in the coming year. These appointments are made by the mayor. They are not appointments of village officials. They're simply requests from the mayor that elected officials and members of the board take on additional responsibilities. Deputy Mayor, I'm appointing Noah Shaw. Liaison to the Department of Public Works, Sean Raymond. Liaison to the Fire Department, Larry Woolbright. Liaison to the Police Department, Noah Shaw. Commissioner of Parks and Recreation, Liz Cormos. Liaison to the Park and Tree Board, Liz Cormos. Liaison to the Library, Christine Fitzpatrick. Commissioner of Buildings, Sean Raymond. Commissioner of Insurance and Human Resources, Christine Fitzpatrick. Commissioner of Sidewalks and Trees, Liz Cormos. Next set of appointments is clerk appointments. I will ask for a motion that Terry O'Connor be appointed village clerk for a period of 1 year. Julia Smith be appointed deputy village clerk for a period of 1 year. Terry O'Connor be appointed registrar of vital statistics for a period of 1 year. Sherry Kanarek be appointed deputy registrar of vital statistics for a period of 1 year. Mary Lasky be appointed part-time treasurer for a period of 1 year. Julia Smith be appointed full-time deputy treasurer for a period of 1 year. Sherry Kanarek be appointed accounting assistant for a period of 1 year. And that the village clerk be designated the records management officer with the necessary powers to carry out the efficient administration of the preservation of all official village records received by the clerk's office, departments of the village, including all personnel and human services records for a period of 1 year. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Shaw. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Fitzpatrick. Any discussion?
I have a question. What is the difference between a liaison and a commissioner?
A liaison, I use that term for a person who is coordinating between an established department or function that has its own leadership and staff and the board. Commissioner, I used for situations where there's not an established staff and department head.
It's just traditionally, it's been commissioner of police, fire, etc.
You know, I tend to, I mean, if I had been you, Larry, I probably would have called them all liaisons. I mean, there's no sort of official capacity here vis-a-vis, you know, the code or other state law. I mean, this is all of these are meant to be, you know, people, in my mind anyway, people who are kind of an extension of, not an extension of the mayor, but serving in their trustee capacity with a particular emphasis on an area to be sort of responsible for. But I don't know that, you know, any of these gives any of us any particular decision-making power that we don't already have as trustees. So I probably would have called them all liaisons. I kind of agree. I don't know what the difference between a liaison and a commissioner is, but I don't think it really matters either.
Yeah, your point is well taken that these positions do not carry any additional authority beyond what you already have. I just thought semantically that it was difficult to be a liaison with a sidewalk or a tree.
Yes, and it's
Good point.
difficult to be a liaison to human resources and insurance.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the reason I used commissioner. I intended to make them all liaisons as you suggested, but some of them just didn't quite sound right.
What about making them all commissioners?
We still need a motion on the clerk appointments, which is what's on the floor right now.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by trustee Shaw. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Raymond. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Clerk appointments are approved. Next set of appointments is annual staff appointments. I will ask for a motion that Stephanie Ferradino be appointed village attorney for a period of 1 year, that Brandy Burns be appointed associate village justice for a period of 1 year, that the following list of individuals be appointed part-time police officers for a period of 1 year: Stephen Porcello Jr., Grant Sosha, Arsini Poliak, Ariel Santiago, Kyle Basta, Michael DiMartino, Scott Ostrander, Stanley DeLong, Gregory Heffensteiner, Cody Fabian, John Chiaki, Jason Quinones, Michael Welch, Hector Monge, and Timothy Hayjack. That the following individuals be appointed crossing guards for a period of 1 year: Jennifer Hirsch, Carmen Isabella, and Kim Sorensen. That the following individuals be appointed fire policemen for a period of 1 year: Stanley DeLong, Carmen Isabella, Carol Theriot, Lloyd Hellman, Robert Kalinsky, Helen Sarrow, Thomas Nolan, Alan Cunningham, Fred Whitridge, Patrick Mangini, John Morrissey, and James Whitridge. That William Lewis be appointed Assistant Building Inspector for a period of 1 year. That Bob Kavanaugh be appointed Fire Code Enforcement Officer for a period of 1 year. And that Bob Kavanaugh be appointed Inventory Control Officer for a period of 1 year. Could I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Raymond. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Cormos. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next set of appointments is for village boards and committees. I will ask for a motion that the following people be appointed to the following positions. Paul Lasky be appointed chairman of the zoning board for a period of 1 year. John Luciani be appointed as a member of the zoning board for a 5-year term expiring in 2025. Ed Furnow and Bernadette Van Danza be appointed alternate members of the zoning board for a period of 1 year. Rory O'Connor be appointed planning board chair for a period of 1 year. Michael Barabas be appointed as a member of the planning board for a 5-year term expiring in 2025. Ed Lake and John Battenfield be appointed as alternate members of the planning board for a period of 1 year. Andy Mannion be appointed as a member of the library board for a 5-year term expiring in 2025. That the following individuals be appointed to the Committee on Sexual Harassment for a period of 1 year: Anna Stanko, Christine Fitzpatrick, and Sean Raymond. That the following individuals be appointed to the Board of Ethics for a period of 2 years, expiring in 2022: Julie Gazitos, Donna Duffy, and Michael Barabas. That Karina Oberai and Heather Lonecker be appointed co-chairs of the Committee on the Arts for a period of 1 year. That Heather Lonecker be appointed a member of the Committee on the Arts for a 3-year term expiring in 2023. And that Stacy Simmons be appointed chair of the Park and Tree Board for a period of 1 year. And that was the other change on the agenda. As I said in my email today, Stacy got back to me the day after the agenda went out to accept that position. So the original agenda had someone else as that. Could I have a motion to approve those appointments?
I make that motion.
Motion by Trustee Cormos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Shaw. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next set of appointments are miscellaneous designations and appointments. I'll ask for a motion that the following banks be designated as the official depositories of village funds, subject to a change by resolution of the Board of Trustees at any time: Ballston Spa National Bank, the Adirondack Trust Company, and Generations Bank. That the Daily Gazette be designated as the official village newspaper. That the village clerk be authorized to send a single letter to news media providing the schedule of regular meetings. Further, the village clerk shall post a public notice of such schedule. That the National Bottle Museum be designated as the official information center for a period of 1 year. That the Brookside Museum be designated as the consultant on history for a period of 1 year. That the village procurement policy has been reviewed and readopted by the village board. And that the next organizational meeting be held on Monday, April 5th, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. Could I have a motion, please, on those items?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Fitzpatrick. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Raymond. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Ordinarily, we do not conduct any business at our organizational meeting. However, we have a matter that's somewhat pressing currently. The library steps have needed to be repaired for quite some while. They've been trying to get the person to come do that, and the person can do that this week. So the library board has asked us to authorize that work tonight so that it can be done this week, because they're not sure about the availability of the contractor later in the season.
Can I ask a question about that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Does that fit within the municipal exception to the ban on construction?
I believe so, because it's a
Yes.
government building.
Yes, yeah, that's, would be my take, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess we should
And
be sure about that.
the contractor is also working on, it's the same contractor who is doing work at the Hall of Springs. Also, for, well, that's a state park.
I think we just need an email from Stephanie that kind of lays out how and why this is okay, given the general ban on construction activities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the owner needs to certify the nature of it, and that the contractor has to have a safety plan in place, and that safety plan has to get approved. But I do believe we have, as the village, have to actually take some action. So let me look into that, because I think we have to send a letter into the state and before they can do the work.
I think that there are exceptions for municipal activities. I don't know off the top of my head, since all these rules are like changing every other day, I forget exactly what the current status is, but I think we just need to nail that down before he starts.
Can we approve it, given that Stephanie determines that it is allowed?
Yeah,
Contingent
on a determination that it's not subject to the executive order, the pause order.
Right, contingent.
Did you get that, Clerk O'Connor?
Contingent upon,
Contingent upon approval of the village attorney.
okay.
So I'd like to ask for a motion that the library be granted approval to spend $6,500 for the replacement of the library front steps and walkway. The total cost of the work is $10,740, with the balance $4,240 being paid from the Ballston Spa Public Library's donation fund. Could I have a contingent on a letter of approval from the village attorney?
And make that motion?
Motion by trustee Cormos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Shaw. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Our business being concluded, I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Are we,
So moved.
second.
Motion by trustee Raymond, second by trustee Shaw. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
next week.
Thank you.
Hopefully they can fix that hack.